tuned in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. What is popping, everyone? I know it's early in the AM, but this is the post-fight recap. Haney versus Linares. Devin Haney wins a UD decision over Jorge Linares, handing him his sixth defeat and did it pretty dominating. So let me say this about the fight. I'm a bit tired. I had a long day, but a long week per se. But let's start with this. Devin Haney went in there and boxed Jorge Linares the way it should be. It's a sweet science. You can't sit up here and say that Devin Haney went in there and boxed, and he was making Linares look like General Bob, that dude that's in the gym, and you just punch him whenever you see his face. He has half a torso and a head. Devin Haney was landing some serious, solid, effective punches on Jorge Linares. It was his speed, it was his movement, it was his countering ability. He was doing a lot of things right. He was doing a lot of things against the veteran Jorge Linares. Jorge Linares, you seen that he was staying strong. He was taking Devin Haney's punches because I don't think they was really affecting him. You get hit with a glove any time of the day, an 8-ounce glove, you're gonna start to swell if you take enough of them. But Jorge Linares was in tremendous shape, you can tell, and his durability showed in there. Devin Haney was landing some good, solid, clean shots on Jorge Linares, and Linares took them very well. But you start to see, as the fight went along, it's not like it was, when a fighter starts to break down, the early part of the fight, Devin Haney was boxing off the back foot. Just because he was boxing off the back foot didn't mean he wasn't effective. His uppercuts, he was landing those counter hooks. I mean, his jab, whenever he wanted, to do that 12-3, he doubling up on his jab. It was beautifully done. He is a boxer. Devin Haney is a boxer. Jorge Linares is a tough fighter that people underestimated with him being in there with other, big names in the sport. I wouldn't say that, it was a full round that Devin started to look like he was tired or something. But you could tell he was getting hit with some shots. You can tell zip that Jorge Linares had on his punches that was gonna sting Devin a little bit. Even though Devin looked like the flashy fighter too, his flash didn't have power to it. But the sweet science, as far as his boxing etiquette, it was on point. His boxing etiquette was on point. But Jorge Linares did catch him several times. He hurt Devin Haney several times, especially in the 10th round. He hurt him. Devin Haney was hurt bad. But once again, when you hurt like that and you're able to recover because of your cardio, you know what I'm saying? You're able to recover because of your cardio. You can push through it. It's not something I'm going to come on here and say, well, he got hurt. Boxing is never perfect. I've criticized Devin Haney in the past. I'm just going to keep it a buck. He fought a superb fight tonight, period. If anybody out there saying anything different, then you obviously just, being anal retentive. You know what I'm saying? You want to be critical because the crowd was booing. But Devin Haney fought a very smart, sharp, educated. I mean, his timing was on. He was outboxing the shit out of Jorge Linares. He was outboxing Jorge Linares, period. Period. Regardless if I'm a fan or not, period. He went in there and got the job done. He put on a showcase tonight in the main event. But Jorge Linares, man, he showed that he was that titan, that matador. He showed he was, but he was just too slow. He was just too slow. So you got to include certain factors in Devin Haney when it comes to speed, defense, and his boxing IQ. You have to put all that together and say, damn, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous. Because early on in the fight, you're gonna have to have individuals who deal with that. You're gonna have to deal with the speed. You're gonna have to deal with um his accuracy. You're gonna have to deal with his movement. Devin Haney's not a rhythm fighter. He pretty much can step in and dance and do what the hell he want to do when he want to do it. But it's up to the fighter that's in there to basically mirror up that and meet the same energy that Devin's giving you, and make sure you are placing the same amount of punches, if not more, that he's doing, because you just can't allow him to punch on you like he did Jorge Linares. It wasn't like Linares wasn't trying to counter. Devin Haney was just too quick. He was out of there. Poof, be gone. Magic. The rabbit is gone. And if you count the amount of shots Linares missed when trying to headhunt Devin Haney, then you'll see what I'm talking about. But he did get caught in there. He did. He got caught. I can't, I'm not going to make a big deal out of Devin Haney getting caught in the sport of boxing, because like Haney said, there's a lot of boxers who get praised for getting dropped several times. Don't nobody talk about it no more. They say, oh man, so and so in one of the fight of the year candidates, and then what happened? That's all they want to talk about post fight. Oh, what an amazing clash of two wills that we seen tonight. And then, Devin Haney goes in there, he gets hurt. I understand it. I get it. He get hurt. We all know it's a matter of time before Devin Haney gets hurt. Obviously, it was only a matter of time before his chin get tested. It was only a matter of time before he attempted to appease the fans. See, if Haney would have just boxed, Jorge wouldn't have been able to touch him. But he was really digging. Like Haney was fighting in the pocket a lot tonight. He was digging. He came in there with a purpose, a motive, and he wanted to get Jorge Linares up out of there. I don't care what nobody say. He wanted to put on a show. You cannot convince me that Devin Haney isn't bothered by the lack of respect he's getting. He is. He say the fans, want to see him. No, that's not your style. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be boxing. And tonight, he was boxing the ears off Jorge Linares. Let me get to some of you that's in the live chat. What's good? Closing, if you come in an hour before closing, right, it doesn't mean you work the whole day. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. If you come in an hour before closing and close the store, you don't get paid any more money except what you get for that last hour. So it really means nothing about what you're saying. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not trying to figure it out. If a fighter is trying to recover, there's plenty of fighters who have hugged and gathered their senses. It's legal in the sport of boxing. J8 in the building. What's good? Devin won the first 10 rounds, man. Exactly. Devin Haney won the first 10 rounds. He boxed the ears off Jorge Linares. He made him miss. He didn't make him look like he was a student or a subordinate, but he boxed circles around Jorge Linares tonight. He boxed absolute circles around Jorge Linares. But Linares stayed strong. He stayed resilient, but he was too slow. He should have committed to the body work early. If he would have committed to the body work, just as Devin was doing, then we may be having a different story. But Devin Haney went in there and boxed superbly tonight. Period. I don't give a damn if he got hurt or not. He boxed. And not only did he box, he was taking some shots early in the fight. And he seemed to be wearing them well. You know what I'm saying? He seemed to be doing just fine. But to me, I say, he just can't take too many more of them. But he was in the pocket. Man, he was landing the counter shot. You saw how he step in with the left, shoot the left uppercut. I mean, very sneaky, man. He was going to the body every time Devin Haney, Linares came towards him, or Devin Haney closed distance, he either pop him to the solar plexus or pop him, up top with that jab. The jab was active, not once, twice, doubling up on the jab consistently, letting his hands go when he needs to. His countering was like a brand new Rolex. That shit was on time. And you have to praise him for that, dog. You have to praise him for that. You can talk about all the holding you want. I've seen some of the best hold. Some of the best hold. You don't get on here thinking this is gonna be a bash parade. It's not gonna do that. Because I look at it like you see Devin Haney trying to appease his fans. They was booing him. And I'm saying this is boxing. This is boxing, y'all. This is what you get from boxing. Seriously. It has absolutely nothing to do with me and my criticism. It has everything to do with how boxing fans look at a fight and they choose who to embrace. The fans booing him, that's his problem. That's his problem. I don't have anything to do with that. But tonight, if they want to boo a performance like this, they can't be boxing fans. They have to be temporaries. They have to be temporaries. There's no way you can look at this performance and not applaud him for going in there, delivering that showcase in the main event in defense of his WBC title. He was hurt and did what he needed to survive. Haney gave the fans what they cried for. He was open to get hit, took it and gave it. Good win for Devin. He did. He did. You can tell he was attempting to be more exciting. He was attempting to win over the fans, because like myself and many others, him going the distance with Gamboa, we like, okay, why? And then Jorge Linares, he did go the distance. Jorge Linares was tough. We all know that Devin, has marginal power, but he can box. What you can never deny about Haney's performance tonight is that there was no way those scorecards, in my opinion, should have been 116, 112. Somebody called the goddamn bartender because they were serving after hours, for real. They were serving some good shit after hours. I don't know what that's about, for real. That's crazy to me. He won't. I just respect. He won't. I just would respect it. Big dog in the building. Salute, man. Salute WCS. Haney dominated, but he just got too relaxed defensively. I don't think he was too relaxed. I think with fatigue and being in the heat of the fight, right? Trying to prove a point, knowing that the rounds are ticking. I believe he was actually trying to stop him. He didn't want to go the distance. He didn't want to be the first fighter to go the distance with Linares. He didn't, man. I don't care what nobody say. He didn't want to go the distance with Linares. He wanted to stop this man. He probably thought within his deepest place, a reflection, he probably felt that, man, I know I can stop this dude. I know I'm better than this person, that person, that person. I can go ahead and stop him. But listen, you can box. That's one thing you can do. He can box. And the performance that he displayed today against Linares should be what boxing fans want to see. Like this fight right now between him and Teofimo Lopez should be pushed even more, because any fighter I support heavy like that, I don't go in there wishing they were a weak ass fighter. I just say go in there with the best fighter for the best performances. After Haney's performance tonight, him and Teofimo should fight. It should be a damn good fight. But Teofimo Lopez is not Jorge Linares. He's not. But Devin Haney, what we do know, each and every one of you, that he can motherfucking box. He was doing some shit in there like he was dancing. Even the dirty tactics, The rules that they probably cut off the clock. That shit happens in sparring all the time. You can see it. He is not to be pushed around. He say, I ain't no punk. You ain't bullying me. You ain't doing none of that shit. It's boxing. I don't think he was complacent with his defense. I just believe he really wanted to stay the course. He wanted to stay close to Linares because a lot of times in that fight, Devin Haney was landing the more effective, more clean, more solid punches when he was getting off on the inside. He felt he had survived Jorge Linares' freaking punches before. Why not? So when he was hurt before the 10th round was the worst. It took him the 11th round to get his legs back. But the embarrassing part of it was that Linares acted as if he's the matador and he waved into his corner. That's confidence. He won. I just thought it was funny. He said in post-fight he wasn't hurt. Yeah, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that because Mark Nash in the building. What's good? Good fight. Devin looked vulnerable. Might help get bigger fights. Big Dog 115, 113 was a terrible card. They made them fight cards close as shit. Angel says T.O. will KO this kid. Everything boxing and sports. What's good with you? Salute to Keon in the building. He's not fucking with T.O. Hey man, I have to give it up. I have heard you give your take on this, that, and the other, and you do stay by the line. You do stay by the line. For those of you that haven't at this time, go check out Everything Boxing and Sports. Go check out Keon and check out this panel of voices that talk that boxing. You know what I'm saying? One of the channels over there with the quality content, man. So yes, indeed, man. I remember you was talking about that the other week. I don't think he stays in there, Tio with them young legs, what I'm saying, and that power. It would be a great, great fight. I look at it, I don't see him staying in the pocket with Tio like that. I truly, truly don't. But I'm going to talk about Devin Haney saying he wasn't hurt after I read a little bit more of these comments. How do you win if you're just hugging? How do you win if you're just hugging to survive the fight? Linares closed the fight, not Haney. There's levels to his to this. Haney needs to fight Lomachenko next to earn a shot at Undisputed. I totally understand, Mamba, when you talk about there's levels. There was levels from round 1 through 10, right? There's levels to that. And Haney pretty much boxed the shit out of him. I know the unofficial scorecards gave freaking Linares round number 4. I understand that. I do. I totally get it. But if you're talking about levels, why didn't he turn up the level of intensity early in the fight? He was getting outboxed. Every time he blinked, it was a punch landing on his face. His eyes were swelling up and everything. Hugging, he was hurt. No matter what Haney says, he was hurt. How can you sit up there and be noodle leg and you walking back to the corner and Linares is waving you, with the red flag? Go ahead, underlay. He's freaking teasing you. And you get in front of people and say you don't hurt. That's the only thing that's a bit weird to me. By sticking to the falsicities, the shit was true. Just say, what, he caught me with a good punch. I might have been buzzed. Give us a little bit of it, but just don't say you wasn't hurt. You was absolutely hurt. Everything Boxing Sports say Dev can fight his ass off, but I don't think he can beat T.O. He showed he can be exciting, though. Absolutely. Devin Haney did, once again, show that he can be an entertaining fighter. Yes, he did. He showed that. He displayed that. Anything other than that, I don't know. You're just probably looking at the later rounds when he was hurt. But even when he, was holding in the 11th round, it just showed that he had the mindset and the wits about him on what to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel good. My leg's still not underneath me. I need to hold. And that shit was pretty obvious. Even in the 12th round, I mean, he was hurt bad, man. He did come back in different spurts, but some of them, he just reached his hand out for a hug, both hands out for a hug. It wasn't set up for a jab or nothing. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset about that shit. Jay Craig, what's good? He's boring. Not going to be the big PPVs. It's some people will say that, but he wasn't boring tonight. He was only boring because the fighter that you may have been cheering for was getting beat up. He was getting outboxed. That may be why you was bored. Feliciano, what's good? I need a hug from Haney. Man, people, I'm telling people going to be going hard on this cat. They already doing it. They're already talking. He say they need a hug from Haney. Haney ain't ready for T.O. Don't think he can stand up to T.O.'s power. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, if Feliciano and everybody else is talking about this hug, can you imagine tomorrow? Can you imagine when Teofimo Lopez began to release his, Twitter or IG posts, how he's gonna sit up here and laugh? You know what I'm saying? It's not like these fighters both haven't faced any type of adversity, being knocked down or whatever the case may be in sparring or what have you. But in the reality of the sport of professional boxing, what happened to Devin Haney isn't that serious. It becomes a matter of concern because he's planning and he's trying to get in there with Teofimo Lopez, who is a much harder puncher than Jorge Linares. And I can tell you like this, he's not going to be missing as much as Jorge Linares. Teofimo Lopez is not going to be missing as much as Linares, period. But if you choose to stay in the pocket, just to appease the fans, and you do that with Teofimo Lopez, I do believe you will be stretched out and the ref will be counting. And this will be earlier than the 10th round. But as for tonight, I believe Haney boxed superbly. It was a sweet signs. He let us know what he's been working on. Look, Haney looked like a different boxer than he did against Gamboa. I'm going to be honest with you. That step in uppercut, he kept trying to sneak in there and look for a pop. He was stepping in there with that uppercut. I was like, okay, step off to the side, pop. It caught Jorge, a couple of times. See, when Linares has his success is when he's able to trade continuously while Devin Haney is standing stationary. If he's stationary, Linares has success. Outside of that, he's getting outboxed. Linares had no defense and wasn't working the body at all. I absolutely agree, Alvarez. Salute Alvarez in the building. Ron G got dropped, and they talked about his heart. I'm giving Haney credit for showing a great chin and dominating. Absolutely. You got to give him credit. If you don't give him, you're just straight up bona fide hating. You know what I'm saying? You're just hating on this dude. Kevin Coates, T.O. and Garcia knock out Haney. He can box, but he take. Excuse me? T.O. and Garcia knock out Haney. He boxed. Appreciate you coming over here, Kevin. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way you're going to say that Ryan Garcia knocks out Devin Haney. Devin Haney will box. Look, Devin Haney and never Ryan Garcia will almost be like a college football player showing up to the Pee Wee League and saying, you know what? I just want to get a couple of games in, get my legs back, get my timing down. I want to play with the little kids. Okay. I know I'm a college standout right now. Devin Haney will box the shit out of Ryan Garcia. Mr. Cappy, he gets no love. Gets too comfortable. I mean, y'all keep on using the same term. I guess I can't be mad at people using the same thing. Comfortable. They saying that Devin was too comfortable. I guess you get comfortable when you outboxing your opponent 3/4 of the fight. You may get complacent. You may get comfortable, but are you going to give him his respect, Are you going to lay it down properly to say, you know what, Devin Haney boxed a tremendous fight tonight? It's boxing. Just like they just said up there about Ryan Garcia getting dropped. Big Dog. Big Dog said Garcia gets dropped by Luke Campbell and then goes drop Luke Campbell. He gets praised for it. Devin Haney gets hurt. After the fight, he jumps up on the rope and the fans are booing. To be honest with you, I don't like that bullshit. I don't like that bullshit right there. Because what's the purpose for all that shit? Were you there to watch a fight or you mad Linares lost? Tell me what are you mad at? The boo Haney. I bet BH was up there like, man, you can't please look all the work he put in on YouTube, going to these motherfucking channels all the time. You know what? I've gotten it a long time ago, but I always said to myself, why do it? It's not going to change anything. The only thing that has to change is your performances in the ring and the words that come out of your mouth. If you want fans to start liking you, then you have to choose to connect with fans differently than what you do with IG. That's the only thing I can think about with Haney. People can't connect with him outside of boxing. That's all I'm saying. We should all know who is undisputed. Gets too comfortable. Devin Wobble. Oh man, Devin Wobble Haney. Feliciano is going in, man. Hit the like button. He ain't gonna stay in the pocket with T.O. But how the fuck is he gonna keep T.O. off him? Good question, bro. Good question, Patrick. You tell me how he's gonna get T.O. off. How is he gonna keep T.O. off of him? T.O. got them young legs just like Devin. We've seen it with Vasil Lomachenko. How is he gonna fight T.O. on the inside? And that fighting on boxing on the outside, it's not gonna happen like that with Teofimo Lopez. He's quick too. He can box too. You know what I'm saying? Might be a slight edge to Devin Haney and his speed, absolutely. But when it comes down to this fight happening, I like it even more now. I like the fact that people are loving to hate Devin Haney. So they're going to go in there loving T.O., but they're going to hate Devin Haney. That's going to make for a damn good fight for boxing. A damn good fight. T.O. will outbox Haney and KO him. Devin is stronger, more skilled. Timothy Full in the building. What's good? Devin maxed him. He got clipped, but stop hating. Devin maxed him. He got clipped. Yeah, he did max him. Pac-Man ATL in the building. What's good, Tay? Devin Haney at 22-0 beat a guy with 52 fights. We got to give Devin credit. Absolutely. You got to give him credit, man. This little bash parade on certain fighters. I'm just being honest with you. It's just getting redundant, It's just getting redundant. It cannot be the point that black fighters have to go through hell and back and don't get credit for putting on a damn good performance. You have to give his performance evaluation and grade it an A. He I wouldn't say A+ because he did get rocked. And he did take some punishment and had the hole to get his legs back. He get an A because I can't give him post-fight recognition when he said, no, I wasn't hurt. You get hit with a good shot. Yeah. I walk back to the, but I wasn't hurt. What's your significant definition of being hurt? What's your understanding? But goddamn though. Tonight, it was solid. Solid win by Haney. Good performance by Linares. He lost easy. But he doesn't look like he needs to retire. He's going to fight T.O. a wild different style than he did tonight. But people got to realize that T.O. can box too. So he can't just pop shot T.O. all night. He ain't going to pop shot. It may present itself, but T.O.'s quick too. Just think about it. He is a backflip king. So, you have the athleticism there. Devin Haney has this elusive defense. He is swift. But every time when it comes to boxing, when you see somebody like Haney in there with Jorge Linares, I always ask the question, how fast is Linares? How old is he? How much wear and tear does he have on his body? From the fights I've looked back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what did I see? I always look at the fighter and see if Devin Haney's looking super flashy against a fighter like Tay said that has over 50 professional fights and he has tread on him. He has durability. I mean, not durability. He has tread. He has wear and tear on his body. Patrick, he beat a guy who's been in 52 pro fights and he's 35 years old. You know, in boxing years, true enough, that 35 years old is what? Tack another 10 on top of that. Tack another 12 years on top of that. This is according to how extensive their amateur career. Linares was a live dog, but there was no reason he should have lost. What? Patrick? I consider you to be absolutely wrong. I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. Hey, Pac-Man ATL, 52 fights, wear your body down. Linares ain't the same as he was in a couple of years ago. Hey, Patrick, he was the same enough to the point where he hurt Devin bad. He hurt him bad, though. You have to admit, if we're giving credit to where it's due, we have to admit that Linares hurt Devin. But you also have to admit that Devin Haney made it back to his corner. And then he was so anxious to get back in there, he stood up. I'm not sure if he was feeling like shit when he was sitting down and said, you know what, man, if I stay sitting down just a little bit longer, man, I'm going to be real fucked up heading out here in this 11th round. So therefore, he stood up. He had to get his legs he had to get his legs under him, period. I don't care. Got to give the man credit for that. Absolutely. We got to give him credit for his performance tonight. We have to. Tio going to catch him with the same shot he caught Comey with. Hey, it's possible that Alvarez, I cannot deny once again that we know Tio has power. It's just like Gervonta Davis. He has power. But understand this hands down, that Devin Haney is not Richard Comey. So I want you to understand that when you're placing them in this narrative, come on, man. Richard Comey is not Devin Haney. Richard Comey can box. Yes, he was crushed in 2 rounds, but then he came back and beat a boxer that many of you say, and myself, that beat Rolando Romero. He outboxed him. But not only did Richard Comey outbox Jackson Mariñez, he stopped him. Brotherhood in the building. What's good? People was picking Haney to lose. I mean, it was a plenty of people that was pretending as if Haney was losing. They was pretending because they know damn well that it was a possibility for him to lose because they felt like his chin would be tested. They felt like since Linares was able to knock down Vasil Lomachenko, he should be able to do the same to Haney at one point. And it worked. It almost happened. You can't complain at people for doing their assessment and comparisons. It almost happened. Say I'm wrong. If that would have been a little bit better, how you put it? If that would have been a little bit earlier in the round, maybe the story would have been different. He cracked Haney only because Haney wanted to stand in there and trade. That's not his game. He was hitting Jorge Linares with some shit. And Jorge was probably looking at it like, you know what? I'm keeping my poker face. He's not really hurting me at all. But I'm going to keep the pressure up and I'm going to start working him. And Jorge Linares started getting comfortable in those exchanges where Devin Haney was trying to use his speed and forget that he lacks power. Jorge Linares say, I may lack speed, but I got power. Now that you're this close to me, my power will match up nicely. And that's exactly what happened. He was able to land that shit, man. Appreciate the wrenches doing their job. Appreciate the wrenches doing their job. Devin beat Tio and what we want to see. Devin versus Tio, definitely what we want to see next in the lightweight division. Absolutely. He got no chin, no power. You can't say he got a chin just because he was wobbled. I think we've been extremely discriminatory if you're saying off one time. I mean, once again, you can't place that on Devin Haney just because he was in there with a tough veteran fighter over 50 fights. You can't say Jorge Linares has 50 fights. over 50 fights, but he can't punch. We already know he can punch. We already know he can bang. Whoever said Devin Haney had this incredible chin? No one. But I can guarantee you his chin is better than Ryan Garcia's. I can guarantee you that aluminum foil and wet confetti that's packed in Ryan Garcia's chin, I bet his chin is better than Ryan Garcia. That wet styrofoam cup, fresh out the microwave, nice and soft, look like a marshmallow. Left man, so what you talking about, brother? Haney was getting hit by Linares left hook all night. That's Garcia's best punch. Garcia faster than Linares. Garcia catches him with the left. If you feel that the same punch, Ryan Garcia was throwing against Luke Campbell and Luke Campbell was slipping beneath it just like Haney was doing Jorge Linares, it's okay. Don't let me break this shit down. Don't let me get warmed up this morning. You know what I'm saying? Don't let me get warmed up. Because Ryan Garcia was throwing that same left hook and was missing badly against Luke Campbell when he had his moments in the fight. Bad. Just like Jorge Linares was throwing his left hook and he was trying his best to catch Haney. He had mustard on that. He had motherfucking bell peppers. He had jalapeno peppers. He had everything. Tear gas. But he was missing. Period. Get over it. So how Haney got no chin when he took the power better than Loma and Campbell did? He did. He never got sat down on his ass, man. He never was sat down on his ass like Vasil Lomachenko. He never was sat down on his ass like Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. And one thing I agree with Devin Haney's post fight is that he said, I've seen other fighters get dropped, and they praise you right. Devin Haney is gonna say what he should say when it's public record. This shit is public record. Certain fighters are getting recognition for being dropped and knocked down and being in adversity and coming out of it. Then somebody like Devin Haney who gets booed just for being hit with a punch and being on unsteady legs and came back and was able to go the distance to the final bell. So you give it what you may. Boxing is never going to have two opponents that's competitive who believe they're the best in the sport. You don't often find them just embracing and showing each other respect, touching gloves in between rounds, and stuff like that. You just don't see that all the time. I think a lot of individuals right now are not even recognizing the Luke Campbell Ryan Garcia situation. You're not recognizing the Baranchik and Cepeda situation. You're not recognizing that. Be honest, dude. Then Haney switch his entire way of fighting to prove the haters wrong. If Haney switches back to his defensive style, it's over for everyone. Defensive style, it look with the long when you dance the way Haney was dancing tonight, and you blended his defense in with his offense, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful rhythm that you want to check out. Seriously, that's that. Whatever you're talking about, you act like Haney did. Haney was giving everybody. He was giving that energy. He was giving that Soto Takayama in energy. You know what I'm saying? He was damn near trying to stay close enough to give us that super bantamweight energy, that Stephen Fulton, Angelo Leo energy. You know what I'm saying? That Brandon Figueroa, Luis Neri. He was trying. That's been the norm. So he switched up his style. I wouldn't say switched up his style. He just added more wrinkles to his game, and his offensive strategy was different. He chose to attack. He chose to stay close. He chose not to give too much distance as if he was trying to reset. He stayed close to the fire. When you stay close to the fire, sometimes you got burned. And that's what Devin Haney. That's what happened to Devin Haney. Please don't group Ryan Garcia's sweet ass with T.O. Ryan will get embarrassed by Haney. Too much skills. T.O. versus Haney will be a good scrap, though. Yeah, T.O. versus Haney will be a good strap, but Ryan Garcia needs to remain anonymous out of this conversation forever. We have no idea who he's going to fight, if he's going to fight, and he's the biggest capper in boxing. That's it. Devin Haney boxes circle. Teofimo knocks him out. Easy. Ambro, be honest, dude. Devin Haney switched his style. We're fighting to prove the haters wrong. If Haney switches back, okay, I read that. He ain't taking it better than Loma. What you talking about? He ain't taking it better than Loma. What you talking about? As far as what? He's not taking what? What is he not taking? Haney wasn't getting hit all night. Like, I'm just trying to find out what was he not taking. Now it was some times in there that Linares landed shots, but come on, man, how many times? Let's just say Haney made Linares miss 80% of his shots in the first 5 rounds. Do you feel that's enough for him? You know, being that that's a big part of his style, and him to go in there and shine the way he did. Do you believe they should pretty much stamp that approval and say, you know what? You made him miss 80% of his punches. I mean, it was just a masterful display. Masterful. I'm gonna underline that shit. His performance tonight was a master class performance. Regardless of him getting hurt, it was a master class performance. You do have to subtract some things because he was in a position to get hit, whatever reason that was. I just felt if he wanted to stand and trade in the pocket with Linares and show and prove that he can do it, then also you need to understand you might potentially get hurt. Haney was hurt 2 rounds. Loma got hit with the flash knockdown, but he wasn't hurt. It's 2 different times. I understand what you're talking about with that. I can understand what you're talking about, but look at it this way. Is it a rule? Is it a rule in boxing say you can't hold? Is it a rule in boxing say that you cannot hold? You cannot clinch? It's not. As long as you don't do it excessively. So Haney held. If he was hurt, hold. Look, what do you want him to do? Not hold? If he was hurt, hold. Get your legs back. If you're hurt, hold. They tell you that. Tie up. Shouts to Combat in the chat. Appreciate you, King Mitch. Ambrose say people love to hate. They must not notice that the fact that Linares was losing every round. Man, he was losing easily. I mean, he was popping Jorge Linares like he was General Bob. I'm telling you. You show up, you're not even stressed out yet. You see General Bob over there looking stupid. Man, goddamn, every day you look the same way. You go over there, smack his ass. Pop, pop. You might send the kick his way. He outboxed Linares. Where's everything coming in? Where's the hate coming in at? We got some prejudice, casuals over here. You just wanted Linares to win all because of you didn't like Haney. Right, World Combat Sports got to give the man credit for that. Has to, man. So Loma got dropped and Haney didn't, but somehow Haney didn't take it better. You a troll, carry on. Now, I have to agree with that. I have to agree with what he just said, what Brotherhood just said. When it comes down to it, the last time we checked, Vasil Lomachenko was getting that count. The referee never gave Devin Haney a count, and he made it back over to his corner. So you can't sit up here and bloviate certain things that people do for other boxers. You can't bloviate the fact and say, you know what? Man, his glove almost touched. Man, he was stumbling. The ref should have saw that and No, you can't sit up there and say, oh, he's stumbling. He's going right back to his corner. So you got to give him props. His toughness showed tonight. If you don't think for 1 second, hear me out. For everyone, hit the like button if you're in the building. Hit the like button, people. If you don't think for 1 minute that Team Haney is trying their best to become a fan favorite, to hear the cheers, you obviously don't watch boxing. You can tell that they're changing shit up. Bill really don't let us on to it like that, as if Devin Haney's changing. He never provides us with the master plan, which makes all the sense in the damn world. But you can see tonight, he looked different than he looked when he was in there with Gamboa. Period. If you say otherwise, you don't care. Haney is Floyd's protege, holds exactly like Floyd, and when he gets hurt and loses his conditioning, pathetic. I can't stand these fake black fighters all copying Floyd's hidden hold technique. It's some other black fighters out there. I mean, it's some other black fighters out there, and some white, and some Hispanic that take bits and pieces of Floyd. But what we do know in the sport of boxing, in this particular scenario, Lawrence, I would say this: when it comes to black fighters, if they get hurt, they act as if it encapsulates two knockdowns. And we all know what that is. It's just racism in boxing. You know what it is. J8, my thing is boxing, you were taking a shot at this man, three-time champ. Damn. Um Patrick, let me see. Where's that at? Is Devin Haney really truly Floyd's protege? So if he's Floyd protege, who is Javante Davis? Who is Javante Davis? King makes Amari Jones scored a quick KO. Kid has some potential. Yeah, Amari Jones over there, he called my man Michael Williams Jr. a bum. So hopefully sometime up the way they meet each other so you can settle that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have too much to say about Amari. He is who he is. He's growing in the sport, and that's all. But he want to call people bums and don't even know who they are. Amari Jones scored. Haney ain't have his legs for 2 rounds. He had the hold. There's nothing wrong with hold. Don't try to make it seem like it's something the worst that you ever seen in boxing. Stop it. If a fighter is hurt, he holds. He gets his wit. He is a little bit of time for him to breathe and get himself together. Stop hating on it, man. Just because Haney did it. Don't let me start going through the archives of fighters that held when they was hurt. Don't let me do it. It'll shock you. It won't be easy, but got it done. And don't get knocked down like Loma. He ain't keeping T.O. off of him. How do you know T.O. take can take punches? Y'all keep sleeping. Hey, listen, T.O. I wholeheartedly believe T.O. Just like he took those punches against Lomachenko, his chin is solid. Styles make fights. Devin wouldn't fight with the same game plan. They've proven that they are not fighting with the same game plan. They're absolutely proven that. They proved that the night from the Gamboa fight, they're different. They're different. I don't even think he stayed on the clock, checked in. I don't think he checked in with Gamboa like that in the pocket and stayed there for that long. I don't see I have to watch the fight again. Haney got no power. Who will hurt? Poor Haney. Dude can't catch a break from the fans. There's nothing poor about it. Nobody's talking about Linares getting hurt and holding on as well. Um, all we know is Linares was I thought was breaking down just a bit because he started, his face started swelling and he was taking some body, he was taking an all around attack from Devin Haney. Devin was popping him up, softening him up to the body, then hit him, popping with the jab to the sternum, up top in the head. He was just working him from all angles. And I truly think Jorge Linares was breaking down until he hurt Devin. And that's just sparked a whole nother sense of energy with him. He's like shit. He started dancing in the ring. Hey, he didn't care, man. I think Haney won handedly, but Haney holding to survive 2 rounds was right move, but not casual fans' eyes. Talk to him, Logic. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Read that again. I think Haney won handily, but Haney holding to survive last 2 rounds was right move, but not casual fans' eyes. He was pretty much saying it was the right tactic to use if you was hurt. Then therefore the casual fans are not going to respect it because maybe some of them, a lot of them, wasn't looking for Devin Haney to win. They was looking for Jorge Linares. Linares ain't get hurt at all. Yeah, he did. He got caught. I forgot what punch he did. He did get hurt. He did. It may not have been as clear. He paid the poker face, but he did. Salute WCS, no doubt who won that fight tonight. Andrew Charles, what he do? What's good? You're absolutely right, man. The Brotherhood, right? This kid's 22-year-old future boxing. Come on, y'all. Hey, man, you know they're gonna be going in this week. They're gonna be asking Haney for a hug. For real. They're gonna start that shit up. The Brotherhood facts. He ain't the future of nothing. Damn. Who he beats at lightweight? Man, Devin Haney beat a lot of people at lightweight. Stop playing. He loses to T.O. Loma and probably Garcia. The Brotherhood. The hating shit getting old. It never gets old because it's too fresh. Shit. This shit can't get old because motherfuckers too fresh. It's always out here. Like fresh produce. They resupply. That's what hate is. That's what hate is right now. Especially, Devin Haney, man. I want to give a shout out to Team Haney. I know BH put in a lot of work on the YouTube channels, being out here talking to cats, allowing himself to be accessible. And then Devin Haney continuing to improve. But he still has improvement to do if he's stepping in there with the undisputed titleist, Teofimo Lopez. He has some work to do. However that work may consist of him doing a little bit more boxing than trying to stand in the pocket and trade. That's not a good look for you, Devin. That's not a good look. You cannot do that. I know you want to, just impress these naysayers. I get it. But maybe it's better they don't like you, Devin. Because later on, they're continue to come see you. You undefeated, they'll continue to come see you. Isn't that what they did, Floyd? Absolutely, they did. So you may need to be that villain. You might need these fans to hate you so they can come see you lose. Just think about that. This was Linares' first decision loss. I knew I was just waiting on somebody to say this shit and be petty. I think it's so petty. It says it's a Jorge Linares' first decision loss. To be the master boxer like Linares on cars is in some ways more impressive than KO. So I'll take your second half. Absolutely, for real. Solid. But it said first decision loss. I knew I was waiting on somebody to say, damn, Devin Haney was the first one to go the distance with Jorge Linares. Look, I'm not finished. In a loss, Jorge Linares went the distance with Devin Haney. And it's the first time he lost via decision. The first time Linares has lost via decision with over 50 fights. That's incredible. That's incredible. Give him his props, man. He dominated a former champ. I really didn't see anything special from Haney tonight besides his usual incredible speed and movement, but also showed a lack of recovery from a good shot. Haney looked outstanding tonight. Victor Alvarez, you got to be joking me, right? You didn't see anything special. So, man, when people say they didn't see anything special, I want to see you. I want to see you in the gym. Please send me a video of you in the gym because you didn't see that special. You really wasn't paying attention to boxing. if you didn't see anything special tonight. You weren't paying attention, man, or you just don't care to. Linares won 2 rounds. Yeah. Yes, sir. You can't F with Devin. Timothy Full in the building. Salute to you. Period. Linares was game. Haney would teach how to be a professional hugger, pass on what Floyd taught him. I once loved boxing until the spawn of little cherry picking, holding fighter took over. Well, try to get over it. Try to get over the cherry picking. You know what I'm saying? What does this got to do with it? This wasn't a cherry pick. I mean, Gamboa, then Jorge Linares, best record on Jorge Linares is, on Devin Haney's credentials is Jorge Linares. Real talk. Real talk. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jorge Linares is best one. So give him his props for going in there, putting on the masterful display. People, it's been a long day. I have to turn this. I have to then draw the curtains. I salute you. Appreciate everyone that was in the building who hit the like button, shared the content. I will be back on here tomorrow, but a brother has to bounce. Appreciate you. Good looking out. See you.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major look.